super excited that you guys are back and tuning in to the next episode. I get to have one of my girlfriends on. And Dawn, once again, thank you so much for coming on my podcast.
Thank you for inviting me.
So, as I always say, introduce yourself and your business.
Okay.
Because I always like it when people say their names. I think there's just more power. Like when I say Annette Compo, it's so different than when you say my name.
It is.
It is. So,
I'm Dawn Wilcox. I am the owner of Michigan Maid Cleaning Advantage. We are an independently owned and operated cleaning business. We do residential and commercial. We've been based in Livonia since 2017, and we have no signs of slowing down.
love it.
Yeah.
And our history is very short.
Very short.
We literally went from 0 to 120 in the
Yeah.
relationship.
That's kind of how
I like
I
it.
operate.
Well, you know what? And that's usually good when you have a cleaning business, because if you're going into someone's house, usually they
Yes.
want you to clean faster because
Right.
it's based on hours, right?
Right.
So the leadership is like a waterfall. It starts from here and it goes down. So if you're set with the mindset of that, it's all of your team are going to be,
That's true.
marching that same rhythm.
That's the hope.
Yes.
That is the goal.
How many employees do you have?
We have 5 right now.
Okay.
We've had more in the past. We've had less in the past.
This
but
is
right
your
now,
sweet spot?
it's working right now.
Love it.
We still have room in the schedule for this crew to handle, but we're always looking to expand. But over the years, it's happened gradually, and I like that, and I would like it to continue to grow gradually. Because the last thing we want to do is have to tell people no, or not have room for them,
Or even
or
the
not
quality.
at that too.
Right, because you have
And-
lack of training. You
Right.
have to bring the scalability of a business is
Mhm.
one of the most trickiest spots.
It is. It is.
And
It is.
it's funny because people will always ask me, when I'm speaking at conferences, they're like, well, we want you to speak on scalability. I'm like, well, that's a huge conversation. And a lot of people say, oh, I want to scale my business,
Mhm.
but they're not even close to knowing or understanding what it takes.
Right.
And even if the business is ready to be scaled.
Right.
And so it's kind of interesting. We had the last podcast a few weeks ago about AI and how we were talking about an owner of a motel, right? Same thing in regards to cleanliness. I mean, those are some pretty hot topics in, cleaning people's residential houses, motels. If you're not meeting those expectations, it's probably one of your biggest things that keep you up at night.
Absolutely. And that was one of the hardest things for me when I started this, was when it got to a point where there were more clients than I myself could handle, that I had to hire people. And it was okay when it was me and a person because I was there. But then as it grew, but again, it grew gradually, so it was a process. But as it grew and I stepped away or would send a team out on their own and I was part of another team, just knowing that these people are responsible for what I'm telling people they're going to get, that kept me up at night.
It's the stamp
it
of the
still
Dawn
does.
approval.
And it still does, right? And my hope is, and I mean, there are times things don't go perfect, but for the majority of it, things are going well. And when they don't, we try to fix it and make it right and go from there.
Well, you have the Annette Compo endorsement
And I
because
appreciate
you
that.
come into my home and it is fantastic every single
And
time.
I appreciate that very much. And I mean, that is what we strive for,
And it's funny is that when I think of, the people that I do business with, people buy people before they ever buy a product or service.
Absolutely.
And it's so humbling to know that you and I are friends, and we became friends in being part of another organization that allowed us to network, right, which is our local Chamber of
Right.
Commerce, and then in turn started doing business, and then in turn have a friendship. Yeah, and that's what's so cool about that, and to be able to, especially being in real estate for, gosh, this month is going to be 35 years.
Wow.
I'm celebrating.
Happy anniversary.
Well, thank you. So now this is where you get to the point in your career where you kept adding on experience as you kept growing. Now I'm reached the pivoting point because when you say 35 years of being in the industry, they're like, okay, wait a second, 20 plus 35. They start figuring out your age. So now I'm at that pivoting point where now I have an anniversary. It's going to be like 32 years in the business. Oh, I'm 28 years in the business. Oh, I'm 22 years in the business.
Just going to start going backwards.
Yeah, I'm going to go the opposite direction.
Right.
Because I don't want people to figure out. Oh,
You don't have to say exactly how many years. You could say over 30.
yeah.
Or over
30
25.
plus.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's awesome. And so it's reassuring, but it's also validating that within my book of vendors that you sit, the magazine of people that we do business and we give to our clients, my clients know that these are people that I have personal relationships with, and it makes the door, they're literally their front door open to anyone that does business.
Absolutely.
And then that is so valuable, not
Absolutely.
only to my clients, but also to myself. And of course you in any of our vendors in there, because it instantly makes the third party advocacy so valuable that you're coming in as if you were me.
Right.
They get a faster relationship with you. They trust you quicker, right?
Absolutely.
And you can really get to which the most important, which is the client's needs. And I think that we do such a good job of that with you because it allows people to, that's what we care about as consumers. I mean, you and I are consumers.
Yeah.
So we think about that. We're like, how do I want to experience having someone I don't even know come into my house?
Exactly.
I have to get through all of that, which is 20
Right.
to 30 minutes and sometimes longer, depending on what type of day I had. Right. And now if I knew that that person was being endorsed by someone I already trusted, that 30 minutes or 20 minutes that took for me to get through me getting to trust you now is like 2 or 5 minutes.
Right.
And now you get to talk about what's important because that's me wanting to use your service.
Absolutely. Word of mouth is huge, and it has always been our best marketing tool. Because if someone tells a friend, they tell a family member, whatever, hey, we're using this service, we love them, the girls are great, they, their prices are good, this, that, and the other. Like you said, there's already steps that you don't have to take necessarily, or these steps have been taken already for you. They feel comfortable already before they even meet you. Which is huge because I realize, we're going into people's homes. We're seeing everything. We're seeing what their bathrooms look like. We're seeing what their
hold
kitchens.
it up. Are we talking about my house
Not at
or
all,
in
not
general?
At all. In general.
Okay.
This is a totally general
Because I
statement.
already said that I was one of your clients, so I'm like, it's getting a little warm in here.
I want a totally general statement, but they're opening their lives to us,
Right?
and that's huge, and they don't do it lightly.
It's
So
very
I
much
take
like
it
real
so-
estate.
Yes.
Yeah, we go into people's places that they create memories, put their heads on their pillow,
Right.
and we get emotionally attached to the roof over our heads.
Absolutely.
And we're walking in, they've never even met us.
Right.
And it's truly, truly an honor to be able to have that type of relationship with people. And so it's just funny because one of the questions I wanted to ask you, because I know what I am, which is, do you have people that you go in, they clean their house before you come? Or do you have people that don't clean their house? Like, what is the ratio of people that clean their house for their cleaner?
That's a good question. It's probably kind of half and half.
Okay.
Um,
Is it like a personality metrics that like you can like look and say, okay, Annette is this, so is Joanne, so is Pete. Oh, they're the ones who clean before the cleaner comes.
I don't think I could pinpoint it based on people's personalities, but it is funny, like, especially when I go and quote a house for the first time. I have found over the years that if someone says, oh my gosh, pardon the mess, this is a mess, I haven't picked up, and it looks fine, then this is going to be a good relationship. Like they're going to pick up, they know what they need to do. They know
So
that
it's actually what it is when you show up, when you go to clean.
So there have been times we go in and say it looks like this, right?
Okay.
Very nice and neat. Counters are pretty much, not empty. No one has empty counters.
Sure.
But very picked up and neat and tidy. And I give them a price. And then we go in to clean and it looks like their closets exploded all over the house.
That is awesome.
Right. It's like, well, this is this is not at all the job
You're like,
I signed
excuse
up
me,
for.
let me go check the address, make sure I'm
Right.
at the right
Right.
house.
Yeah. So there's been things like that. I
Okay.
mean, there have been times we've gone to clean houses and they weren't there when I looked at it, and there'll be 30, this is not an exaggeration, probably 30 pee pads for their dog.
Oh,
It's like, well, we don't deal with pet waste. I'm
you
like, I
can't.
can't touch them all. I
Yeah.
can't, if we clean around them, we're not even doing your floors because you've practically carpeted your house with these. So,
Well, I'm going
so
to skip
yeah,
over my question because you just answered it, which is what is one of the stories that is the most tragedy when it comes to going? And now I got it.
that's not even the worst.
Oh,
There have been
really?
some horror stories. Yeah.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'll have to be a different podcast. Do you want to give us now? We're
I
just
mean,
curious. What's the next one that's bad?
well, this wasn't even about the house. The house was a situation all its own. But there was an elderly man who we cleaned for. This was years ago. And he knew we were coming, and we're knocking on the door, and we're standing out there waiting. And probably about 5 minutes go by, and you start hearing movement in the house. I'm like, okay, we wait. And he comes to the door, and he is in a tank top and tidy whities. This is like a man in his 70s,
It's like
not like a Sam Elliott or a Tom Selleck coming to the door.
if you could
This
only
is
have it controlled the future,
right.
right?
He goes, I'm sorry to make you wait. And I told him, I said, I would have waited another 5 minutes
If you
if
put
it meant
pants
you
on.
answered the door with pants on. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good
So, I
story.
mean,
Well,
yeah.
and we always there's two stories in real estate that I always share. One that has to do with cats, which that we're not going to talk about that today. It'll be a different episode. But the second one is that you go into a house and all the door closet or the doors are shut,
Mhm.
right? So I'm showing all the bedrooms, right? I go into the everything is good, open the doors and stuff like that. Go into the basement, just like because I feel comfortable because I've opened all the doors, no one's in the house, right? So I
Right.
open the door in the basement. Someone didn't tell the person and their guest that there was a showing. And let's
Okay.
just say they weren't crocheting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The way you said and guessed, I can only imagine what they were doing.
definitely.
Surprise.
Surprise. Hi, my name's Annette Compo. I'm with Keller Williams. That was the only time I've never introduced myself. I was like, oops.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, we all have those
Yeah,
stories because things happen.
they do.
It
Right.
is, and we laugh about it and at the end of the day. So you have said we a couple times.
Hmm.
So we is who?
My husband,
Okay, so
Husband
this is
Eric.
a family business.
It is a family business.
Love it.
Yes, he has been my biggest cheerleader, my biggest champion. I definitely couldn't do it without him. I do the day-to-day stuff. I train the girls, but he is everything behind the scenes. He's my right hand. I
Here's all
mean,
the logistics of the
yeah,
business.
yeah.
I love
I
that.
mean, he's an idea person very much so too. So that's very helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like we just had to do a presentation for one of our chamber meetings the other day. I'm like, I said, I don't have an idea because it wasn't about the business. It was just something relatable to business. And he came up with it, put it together, presented it. I'm like, this is all right.
That's
Teamwork
amazing.
makes the dream work.
It does.
Yeah.
And to have that relationship, there's a book out there that says, work with the one that you love and live to tell about it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, when I read that book, that was after my first divorce, but prior to my second divorce. But for some reason, I don't know if I just didn't, like read it correctly, but it didn't work. But however, I'm going to give you the recommendation. And maybe if you want to read that book.
Maybe.
Yeah, I remember it being good. I just
Yeah.
don't know if I didn't implement it or what it was.
Maybe a couple pages stuck
Yeah,
together.
yeah,
Wait.
maybe a couple of pages stuck together. Exactly. Oh, so here on the podcast, we have a tradition.
Hmm.
And that tradition is that if you had the opportunity to meet your younger self, what advice would you give them?
I would tell a much younger me, don't worry. Everything's going to work out far better than you ever imagined. Yeah.
It's a big deal.
It is.
We get
It
so
is.
wound up, and depending on our
Mhm.
personalities, it causes sometimes anxiety. And honestly, I think it stops the true trajectory of what the path is for
Mhm.
you. If you just took a deep breath and said, "Have I handled everything that I do have control over?"
Mhm.
Right? And the things that I don't have control, I
Yes,
just release them.
you've got to. It's hard, especially for certain personalities like me, for sure. It's
Well,
very
I
hard to
can't
let that go.
participate in that at all.
Not at all. Not
No,
even a little.
I'm not even in the fan club of that. I love how my sarcasm makes everyone laugh, but it's really because you know me
Uh,
and that's why you're
I
laughing.
well, I
Yeah.
appreciate sarcasm very much because not everybody gets it. But yeah, I love it.
Yeah. So, sharing that advice, it's really important here at the show, and I thank you for really
Mhm.
answering it, the authentic self, the authentic Dawn that always shows up no matter when I'm talking with her, because I think it really does help people to understand and relate and say, you know what, that's how I feel. I
Mhm.
need to be more like that, or oh, I didn't think about that. And so, coming from another business owner to a business owner that's watching you today,
Mhm.
thank you so much for being on the
Well,
podcast.
thank you for having
And
me.
as always, thank you for being my friend. Even though our
Thank you.
friendship isn't the
It's
longest
new.
standing ones
No.
and it's new, but it's so cool just to have a she boss that I can literally connect with
Mhm.
and relate stories to, and just have, thank you for being my friend,
Well, thank
because
you.
that's so
It
important
doesn't
to me.
it just feels natural.
hmm
Yeah.
And we laugh a lot.
Yes, and we did tonight.
We did
We
tonight. So, once again, thank you, Dawn, for being on the
thank
podcast.
you, Annette, for having me.
Until next time, I'll see you then.